Hello everybody. Oops. It's been a long time since I've done a video, a tutorial style video, and I apologize for that. Got some exciting news. Dale from Elite Force 2.5, and I know he's in 600 Stunners, another Elite Force Task Force, has decided to kind of team up with me and create some awesome photos to go along with the videos that I'm doing. And that got me a little bit revigorated, I guess, to come back out here and try to supply you guys with some pretty good content. So today we have a hit by Hazy in Elite Force 2.5. It's a bullet Callisto hit. As you can see, this is a flamethrower right here. Typically, to do the standard wrap, you'd need that to be a mortar. You could do a reverse wrap here where you actually flare and let the girls come up between these two weapons here and then flare it onto here. But he decided, hey, this was a pretty easy op. He wanted to stay up with his skills on this hit. So the very first thing he's going to do, of course, is go over on the right here and collect some cells. Always a great luxury when you can collect cells over here on the right. Those critters, make sure that they're in the cannons. That way they don't like come down and try to start eating some of the cells. His first flare, as you can see down here, you got to make sure that they don't spread too much up above, otherwise their grouping will be real weird, and it might require he uses a second flare because he wasn't happy with his grouping. But you got to make sure that they're going to go underneath theirs, and then before they reach that mark, he flares over here. So this is actually a very common thing that I see a lot of people do, is they flare all the way to the corner, and that does work, but it isn't necessary. And you'll see right here, his first smoke is going to come out, and we'll go ahead and show our first photo here. There we go. So here's the first smoke, and I'll post all these photos in my AZ tutorial channel on Telegram. You can see the spot there for the tap, and then the actual position of the smoke, and you'll see that it doesn't actually reach all the way up against that wall there, as many people do, and that just allows you to get better coverage of the smoke when the girls start spreading. So as you can see, he waits to flare just a second to allow the front girls to start walking up. Typically I lose delay right here, like he did, and we'll go ahead and show you the pathing for that. What am I doing? Right here. Boom. So here's the path that they'll commonly take with this flare. As you can see up above or right around the grappler, if there isn't any cells or anything to the left of your flare point where you can flare between the boom cannon and the cells, very likely that they'll actually go around that grappler. Also, sometimes you'll even see them go around the shock launchers that they walk through here. So let's go ahead and continue, and you'll see the path that they take. Unfortunately, he gets in just such a perfect spot that they take the path that he wants, but do be aware, without those cells on the left there, it is very likely that they'll split. So as you can see, just as Bullet is reaching the kill zone, actually, or I'm sorry, the gathering zone, it's important to flare up right away, as quickly as possible. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that Bullet is going to stay far enough ahead. So as soon as you see Bullet reaching that zone, you don't actually want him to stop. You want him to keep going. So flare up right away. And then once you've made that flare, You're going to throw a double smoke, and as soon as that double smoke is out, you're going to actually throw critter or throw the shock. And ideally, you want Bullit to be placed between and a little bit lower to that flame there, so that way when you flare the core, he'll actually walk between the flame and the mortar towards the core instead of walking up above the flame. If you flare him any higher, that's definitely a possibility. So here we are. You'll see it here in the flare, and then the two smokes, double smokes out right away, and then his shock is right there. You do see he peaks just a tad there. Typically, that could be kind of a problem if you're doing a brick hit, but fortunately in this case, with the Bullit, the delay isn't as important. Of course, you always want to keep delay, but not quite as important. So as you can see here, what he's going to be doing is he's going to be able to taunt these 4 weapons in a row, starting with this flame and going up to that mortar where they're wrapping. And then these rocket launchers will be null. That rocket launcher might come into play, but with the wrap it typically doesn't. So all he has to do is shock these 4 flames and that rocket launcher above. And as you can see here, with another great drawing done by Dale. Oops. Boom. You'll see the shock point, which is you want it to be up, kind of up. It's not important to be right at the corner, but you want it up a little bit higher just to keep away as many girls as possible, and dead center those 2 flames. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up this hit. So as soon as the girls are in position, you need to get that flare out onto the core before that shock ends on Bullit. As you can see, he actually walks just halfway in between those 2 weapons, which is awesome. And Hazy's able to repeat the 4 shock and take this take this down to Pound Town, which I think is a Nick at Night phrase actually, for the tune of 2.15 million. 2.15 million. Real nice hit, real clean, done by Hazy. Excited to get back in the swing of stuff here with the AZ tutorial stuff that I've been doing mostly streams just because, to be honest, they're kind of easier for me to do, not as much planning and preparation. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's any certain hits, please leave a comment or send me a message on Telegram. As always, guys, keep practicing. Have a good day, and happy booming.